Hello, lovelies. Yes, I did indeed buy the exact fabric that Broadway uses on Glinda's Bubble Dress, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So it all started back in August or September when I was in the pre-planning stages for Glinda's Bubble Dress. I posted a few swatches on my Instagram stories of this blue satin that I was looking at to purchase for the petals of Glinda's gown. Okay, so these two are from, this place, Fabric Wholesale Direct. And this color is a little too pale. I love this color. I don't love the shiny side. I kind of like the matte side more. But I also love this. And this is from fabric.com. The weight of this satin is so nice. And it is really cool toned. But the next thing I need to talk about is organzas. And I'm not going to go with either of these. They're really pretty, like, on this gray fabric, but when you put them, like, on this, it's so pink or purple, and then even that there, like, it is. Luckily, my friend saw me posting about this and was like, hey, I just want to let you know she doesn't have satin, she has organza as her petals. And I was like, what? And then we had this lovely conversation and she shared some amazing images with me of the gown, of the inside. These are the images I've mentioned before that I'm not sharing because she asked me not to. In this album of photos she sent me, there was a couple photos of some fabric that they were using for this show. And on this fabric, it had some tags. So for Broadway, they typically tag the fabric that they're using. And a lot of costume shops do that. They tag the fabric so that when they have to make more pieces or whatever they have to do with it, they know exactly what fabric goes for what gown or costume. So on these bolts of fabric, they have a tag, and the tag typically says like the show name, the character / costume. So like a lot of characters have different costumes. They also share what type of fabric it is and what color it is from where they purchased it and how much they purchased it for and how much of it they have. So based off of the tag in these images, I was able to figure out or find who they bought their fabric from. So I did some Googling and some internet sleuthing and I found the shop. From finding the shop, I had to fill out an application in order to purchase wholesale through their company. So they don't sell to consumers, which is like what Joann's does or what like Michael's and them do. You have to purchase wholesale, and in your application, you have to send in your LLC, and it took about 2 weeks for me to get approved to purchase. And then I bought 25 yards of this blue organza, and I guess let's go back in time to see it arrive. Okay, so I just checked tracking. And I think my fabric just arrived. Let's go get it. All right, so my table has Sarah Sanderson all over it, and I can't wait to open this. I'm not gonna clear that off. We're just gonna do this right here on the ground. I've got my seam ripper and some tiny scissors that I can control easily. And we're gonna open this. Oh my God, I'm so freaking excited. Sorry, I'm very excited. Trying to figure out which side of this is the easiest to open, and well, you know, neither. Oh my God. There is a lot of plastic on this, oh my Lord. That's good though, because if it rains, it means my fabric won't get destroyed. I can see it. I'm touching it. I'm breaking things. Okay, I can't unravel too much of it because it is fraying. You see this? Can you see how beautiful and delicate this is? It's so beautiful. It is so pretty. It looks like a bubble. Like it looks like when you see a bubble in the light and it has that like glisten and gleam to it and it's like iridescent. It looks like that. I have no clue how I'm gonna pull this off because from what I understand, each petal is just the tulle with all the sequins on it. And then this, 2 layers of this to make the petal. Like that is from what I understand from my images. But then there's so many petals all layered up on top of each other that like this layered on top of itself over and over. So a lot of you might be wondering, well, Casey, if you got this exact fabric that they use on Broadway, why don't you just link it so everybody can buy it? That's a really great and noble idea. However, I am not linking it because if everyone were to have access to this fabric, Broadway would not have access to this fabric because everybody would be purchasing it up, and then therefore the costume departments will have to find a new fabric, which means the dress changes again. And don't get me wrong, they've probably had to change or modify some of the dresses due to, you know, like fabric shortages and not being able to access certain materials, but that means our beloved bubble dress would change. And that doesn't sit well with me. And secondly, it's not exactly accessible to consumers. So even if I gave you the link, you wouldn't necessarily be able to purchase it to begin with. So that's why. However, I did want to kind of like, hopefully make it better or more helpful for you all by describing the fabric, talking about it in depth, and giving you an idea of what to Google or look for so you can find something similar, because I'm sure something similar exists out there. So with that being said, I will describe and show you this fabric in depth, and then I think we should take it over to my sewing machine, serger, and ironing table to kind of figure out how to tackle working with this fabric and kind of show you a little glimpse of like when you order or get a new fabric that you've never worked with before, how you too can figure out, okay, what do I need in order to sew this fabric so that it looks beautiful and awesome every single time. So the fabric is a sheer organza-like fabric. It's in a light blue color with a green or yellow iridescent shift to it. It's lightweight and it's definitely polyester or synthetic with a bit of little bumps, kind of like a pilling, but not quite. If I were to Google for this, I would start by Googling blue iridescent organza and kind of go from there and see what I can find. When I am completely done with my Glinda ball gown, I will be selling whatever I have of this fabric left over. If I have 12 yards or more left over, then it's definitely a sign that like it's enough for one person to be able to make their own Glinda ball gown out of it. I don't know how much I'm going to use. Even with the mock-up, I can't really determine exactly how much I'm going to use. However, I just wanted to put that out there that when I'm done with my gown, I will be reselling the rest of it. So one lucky person will be able to get this fabric. All right, so I guess let's play around with this fabric. Okay, so I did this one with the guidance of my manual, and mainly because I don't have this memorized, so I apologize. I did my stitch length at 3.0 and my differential feed at 1.0. Okay, so these are the settings for my needles. I kept these at 3, and then we have a 2 and a 3. This is just a little tighter because I was getting like massive looping on the bottom side, or on the on this one, and I actually played with these two quite a bit until I got what I was hoping for. I still think that my differential feed could be 0.5 and it'll be fine, because basically when I jumped between 1 and 0.5, this didn't change at all. So here we are. Okay, so I have my iron set to min, which is like the lowest it'll go, and I'm just gonna put it on the little corner here, the tip of it on the corner, to see how it does, and then we will turn the heat up to nylon if this is fine. Typically organza is fine to iron, but you know, yeah, it doesn't even feel warm, so we're gonna turn it up. Okay, look at that. All right, so just on the nylon setting, it seems to get us a really nice crease. The reason I'm doing this is because when we sew the petals, we will need to press them so that they're flat, and I need to know, can I use nylon, or can I use this, or do I need to have some kind of pressing cloth? I'm likely going to cut apart some silk organza to use for a pressing cloth, because I don't know the best way to press with the sequins, but we will practice that too. So now we know. So we've got a few pretty good conclusions about this fabric. First of all, it's pretty easy to press. I have it, again, nylon, which I think is like one of the lowest settings. And then using stabilizer if I'm gonna do a zigzag or decorative stitch. But if I'm not gonna do either of those, a straight stitch on, I think this was 2.5 millimeter stitch length. Stitch is pretty okay. So I think that's enough. Like, that's all I really need to know about using this fabric, since I'm not gonna be doing too much with it. I will be overlocking the edges, and we also know the settings for the overlock machine. So I think we're ready to make some stuff with this. All right, so that's basically everything I have to share with you about the stage accurate Glinda Bubble Dress fabric. I am so thankful for everyone that donated to my Ko-fi goal back in like September, October, that basically made it possible for me to purchase this exact fabric. I plan to have an entire video dedicated to you all in 2 weeks. Next week, there will be no video. I am in Flagstaff this weekend for KikoriCon. So if you're in Flagstaff, come say hello. And next week, I won't do a video, but the following week, I'm gonna do something different and fun to kind of like share my thanks to my patrons and my Ko-fi supporters for helping me purchase this fabric. But it's also, I hope, enjoyable to all of you. It's definitely bold and out there, but I'm really excited for this idea, and I just kind of hope that anyone that watches my channel will also like it. Finally, thank you all so much for watching these videos. I know progress on Glinda is slow, and it's only going to slow down even more as I spend my hours doing the embroidery for the petals. So just thank you all so much for being patient with me, and don't forget to tell me what you're working on in the comments below. And finally, for my Atlanta friends, on March 12th, it is a Saturday, I will be a special guest at the Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. I will be judging the cosplay contest and emceeing it. I will have a few gowns on display, and I will be around to chat all about cosplay and costuming. And if you show up to the expo in costume, you get half off your ticket price. So if you would like to see me in Atlanta, hang out with me, I will see you on March 12th. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching these videos. And until next time, may all your dreams come true.